AS Monaco, going over a decade without winning the Champions League, their last Champions League final win in 2004. Their last Ligue 1 title in 2017 with the likes of Mbappe and Falcao tearing up the league. But now with Mbappe at PSG and Falcao not in his old form, they are falling down the table and don't look to be anywhere near Champions League glory or Ligue 1 glory once again. Well, today is the day that is going to change. We are going to be taking over AS Monaco and bringing them to Champions League glory. Let's go, boys. And this is Monaco's squad. It's clear to me now how they are struggling quite a bit in Ligue 1 and the Champions League. Ben Yedder, their star player up front, even he's 28 years old. Kaita Boldy, 24, he can grow quite well, so he'll be a good one to keep into the side. Obviously, then we move down, we got Bakayoko. I don't know if he's on loan. I'll check in a minute, but he's either on loan to us from Chelsea or he made the deal permanent. Cesc Fabregas, 32 years old. Silva, 30 years old, and he's on loan. Glick, the captain, 31. It's a very old team, so there's going to have to be some changes made in this first transfer window. First thing I'm going to do as the Monaco manager is recall Sidibe from loan at Everton. He's going to be our starting right back, and I'm also going to recall Onakuru, and I'm going to recall him from Galatasaray, and then straight away, where is he? Put him on the transfer list. Oh, I can't. Well, that's quite embarrassing. He'll go to the transfer list next season. And now 3 bits of business happening. Glick we have sold to Leicester for £8.7 million. Chadley we have sold to Inter Milan for £10.5 million. And Konate we have signed to replace Glick for £18.5 million. I did do it normally, so I showed them each on their own, but I wasn't actually recording and now I can't get the footage back. So it's just going to have to be like this, but it's going to be normal from now on, hopefully. And we have now sold Jemison, I believe that's how you say it, I'm not too sure. But the 26-year-old joining Argentinian side Racing Club for £7 million. And what will probably be our last signing of this first transfer window right here. We have signed a second centre-back. The second centre-back who's French from the Bundesliga. This time it's Dan Axel Zagadou, coming over from Borussia Dortmund for £18.5 million. And we are now in the final hour of this first transfer window in season number 1. Pretty good transfer window, £55 million spent on players in 2 centre-backs and a centre-mid. And then obviously Glick, Chadley and Jemison. They are all leaving the club. I'm not sure if we have Champions League or Europa League this season. If we have either of those, then I'll see you once we know who we've got in the group stage. If we don't, then I'll just see you halfway through the season. And halfway through the season, this is what the Ligue 1 table is looking like. We're doing a lot better than I expected. Originally, I thought we would be 5th or 6th and fighting for Champions League. But we are in second, 6 points behind Olympique Lyon in third, and 9 points behind PSG in first. Obviously, it's going to take quite a while for us to get past PSG's quality of football, so we're going to strive to do that. But right now, I'm happy with second. I'm happy with any Champions League qualification spot. Now, going into this rebuild, I did do a bit of research, but obviously not enough, because it turns out that last season, AS Monaco finished 17th in Ligue 1. They were 2 points off being in 18th, which is the relegation playoffs. So they were very close to getting relegated. So there was no chance in how they were getting Europa League or Champions League at all. And next season, Subasic is leaving the club. He's going to Trabzonspor. He wouldn't accept a new contract, and he only had 1 year remaining, so he was available for signing up for a free contract. So Trabzonspor have got him for next season. And we have sold Steven Jovetic, the first bit of business that we do in this January transfer window. He goes to Porto for £6.5 million. And we have now sold Sidibe. He came back on loan. I recalled him, and then I was going to start him, but he hasn't progressed as much as I would have liked. So we're keeping Henriks, and I think it's Aguibar and we've sold on Sidibe. He joins Real Betis for £10 million. Another player leaving the club, this time it's our third string left back, Fodi Ballo-Touré. He joins Frankfurt in the German league for £9.5 million. And what will probably be our only signing of this January transfer window, we have brought in Mason Mount, the young Englishman, coming over for £2.5 million, with Gelson Martins going the other way. There was no need for Gelson Martins, so we didn't have any midfielders, not midfielders, wide positions in our formation. So we've given him to Chelsea, and then Mason Mount coming over for Martins and £2.5 million. And we are now in the final hour of this January transfer window. As you can see, a lot more players out than there was in. Mason Mount coming in for £2.5 million and Martins going the other way. And then obviously Subasic, Jovetic, Sidibe and Ballo-Touré. I think that was it. I don't know if there's any more. Obviously Subasic is leaving next season on a pre-contract, but we've still got him for this season. He's a backup goalkeeper anyway, but a pretty good transfer window. We're not in the Champions League, not in the Europa League, so I'll see you when the season's finished. At the end of the Ligue 1 season, we did drop down to third, but as I said, I'm happy with any Champions League position. 8 points above fourth and ended up being 6 points behind second in Olympique Lyon. PSG, Olympique Lyon ourselves, and Olympique Marseille, I believe, in Champions League. I'm not sure what the Europa League is, so I'm not going to comment on that. I think it's the same as the Premier League, so it's OG Nice and Montpellier, but once again, I'm not too sure. In the relegation spots, it is Angers, FC Metz, and Toulouse. The Coupe Nationale was won by PSG, who beat Stade Rennais 3-1. PSG doing the domestic treble, winning the Coupe de la Ligue, beating Stade Rennais again in the final 1-0. Toulouse, I believe that's how you say it, I don't know, lost in the promotion playoff final, meaning that they get relegated and Lorient get promoted. At the start of the season, Liverpool beat Chelsea 2-0 in the Super Cup. The Europa League was won by Juventus, taking Manchester United down 2-0. And finally, it's Atletico Madrid who beat Barcelona in the Champions League final, taking them down 2-1. And that's it for season number 1. All in all, a pretty productive season, finishing in the Champions League spot, and we worked a lot on our midfield and defence this season in the transfer window. We're going to have to keep on working on it on the whole team next season, but let's see how far we can get in the Champions League, and that'll tell us where we're at. But let's move on to season number 2. And in this second season, we have made our first signing, and this is going to be Tammy Abraham, the English striker coming across from Chelsea for a fee of £20 million. And we have sold 2 players on the same day here. First of all, Samuel Granse going over to Torino for £7.7 million. And then as well as him, Newcastle United are signing Antonio Barreca. We had no use for him. We had Hendricks and George. So he's joining Newcastle for £10 million. And our second signing in this first transfer window is going to be Renan Lodi, the Brazilian left-back coming over from Atletico Madrid for £32.5 million. And we have now sold Gil Diaz. He moves, I think, to a French league, Stade Brostius. I think they're in our league or they're in the league below, but he joins them for £9.7 million. And we have sold Jordi Mbula. He is joining Sampdoria in the Serie A for £4.4 million. As well as this, on the same day, we have also sold Pele. He joins Real Sociedad in the Liga for £3.65 million. And we have made a very, very big signing here. Dani Olmo, the Spanish centre-attacking midfielder, coming over to the French league. I've been wanting to sign this guy for a couple of rebuilds now, and we finally had the chance. We bought him on a release clause, but we have signed him for £38.9 million. Now, as you can see here, we are in the qualifying rounds. I guess when you finish third, you're in the qualifying rounds. I'm not too sure. It may depend on what happens in other cup competitions. However, we are in the qualifying rounds. In this first leg, we are at home against BSC Young Boys. Strongest side out. Shouldn't be too difficult. Young Boys, I don't know what league they're in. We should be able to take them down quite easily. It's 3-1. I don't know if away goals count in this qualifying rounds, but if it does, it shouldn't matter that much. I don't know if there's even a second leg. I haven't done any of this before, so I'll see you in the second leg if there is one. If not, then I don't know what will happen. Getting rid of some Deadwood players here. We have now sold Nabil Aloui. He joins a league I don't know and a team I don't know, but he leaves for £1.1 million. And we have now sold Adama Traore, not the Spanish right winger, but the centre mid from Mali. He joins Getafe in La Liga for £6 million. I don't know why it didn't show up in the news tab, but we have sold Henry Onyekuru. He joins Inter Milan in the Serie A for £20 million. Time for the second leg of the qualifying rounds now, this time against BSC Young Boys. We are 3-1 up. If away goals count, then they have an away goal, but it shouldn't matter. I'm pretty sure, apart from Maripan, I don't know how you say his name, and Baldy, it's our strongest side, so we should be able to get the job done. What's the score? It's 3-0. Lodi gets sent off, but we're either through to the group stage. I don't know if there's another qualifying round, but I'll see you either in the last hour of the transfer window or in the second round of the qualifying rounds. Okay, it's now time for the playoff rounds. This time in the first leg, we are at home against PSV. Strongest side out once again. Should be quite easy. PSV, they aren't a great side. What's the score? 3-1 again. Pretty easy. We should do well in the second leg. Okay, second leg, this time away against PSV. We are 3-1 up. Same as the qualifying rounds. Let's see how we do. Strongest side once again. What's the score? 2-0. I'm pretty sure that's it. I'm pretty sure we're through to the group stage, but once again, I still don't know. Okay, so we are now in the final hour of this transfer window. As you can see, £62.55 million spent on players out and £91.4 million spent on players in. We got Abraham, who's a backup and starting striker. Lodi, an improvement at the left back, and Olmo to strengthen up our midfield. A very good transfer window. I'm pretty sure that's the qualifying rounds done now for the Champions League. So let's have a look and see who we've got in our group stage. In our first Champions League group, we have been placed into Group H. It is a tough group. Juventus, ourselves, Spurs, and Slava Prague. Slava Prague shouldn't be a problem. It's Juventus are probably going to go through in the top spot. It's between ourselves and Spurs to go through second. Let's see how we do after all the games have been played. And after all the games in our group were played, we didn't make it through. We finished in third, 10 points, the same as Juventus in second, but they beat us by 4 goal difference. Spurs finished on top. I wasn't expecting that. They finished on 15 points. Obviously, Juventus in second with 10, ourselves in third with 10, and then Slava Prague not getting a single point at all. We are halfway through the season, so hopefully we're doing a bit better in the league. And we aren't doing too great in the league either. We are sitting in third, 2 points above Marseille in fourth, and 13 points behind PSG in second. It is Olympique Lyon who sit top of the table with 57 points. I think it's top 3 get Champions League, and then fourth is Europa League. So as long as we finish in top 3, I'll be happy, but I don't see us getting ahead of PSG, so we're going to have to fight for third place in the relegation zones. At this point, it is RC Lens, Nimes, Olympic, and EA Giangamp. I have no idea how you pronounce them. We are in the transfer window. I feel like we're going to have to make some transfers so we can stay in third and hopefully qualify for the Champions League. And we have signed Dominik Livakovic from Dynamo Zagreb, I think, but he has signed for Monaco today, the 25-year-old, for a fee of £27.5 million. And we have sold Aurélien Tchouameni to Leicester City in the Premier League. He joins the Foxes for £13.4 million. And we are now in the final hour of this January transfer window. Livakovic in, and then Tchouameni out. Pretty good window. There wasn't much needed to be done. Obviously, we needed a new goalkeeper. Our form has picked up quite a bit with Livakovic coming into the club, but that was it. We did get knocked out in the group stage of the Champions League, so I'll see you at the end of the season. And at the end of the season, we were able to hold out and keep our third place position. It's not an improvement from last season, and I don't think we played that well in the league. Obviously, Lecomte being injured for 2 or 3 months didn't help us because we had a 71 rated keeper until I brought in Livakovic. But we've at least qualified for the qualifying rounds of the Champions League next season. Hopefully we can do a bit better next season and get out of the group stages. In the Copa Nacional, we lost in the final. Paris Saint-Germain, PSG taking us down at 3-2 to win the trophy. PSG also won the Coupe de la Ligue. They beat Marseille in the final 2-1. It's FC Metz who win the promotion playoff. At the start of the season, Atletico Madrid beat Juventus 2-1 to win the Super Cup. And we won the Europa League. We took down Roma in the final 2-0. So if we hadn't have finished third in the top 3, it wouldn't have mattered anyway because we qualified for the Champions League through the Europa League. Does that mean we have to do qualifying rounds? I'm not sure. And finally, it was FC Barcelona who took down Manchester City 1-0 to win the Champions League. So that's the end of season number 2. An alright season. It could have gone so much better. I reckon we could have got second place and should have gone further in the Champions League. As you can see, our manager rating at a 61. It's not very good. Hopefully we can improve next season and go a bit further into the Champions League. But with that being said, let's move on to season number 3. And our first bit of business in this transfer window, we assigned Aaron Wan-Bissaka, the English fullback coming over from Manchester United for £53.6 million with our former right back, I've forgotten his name, Aguilar, I don't know, but he's going the other way. And we have now sold Ben Yedder, the French striker, moves to La Liga, to Real Madrid. I didn't want to sell him, but he was 30 years old, so we moved him on while we could still get a decent amount of money for him. So he joins Real Madrid for £50 million. And now a big signing for us who's going to help us win the league and the Champions League in seasons to come. Maximiliano Gomez, the Uruguayan striker, got him on a release clause, so a pretty good bargain. He signs from Liga for £46.8 million. The latest player to leave the club is Kevin Ndoram. The holding midfielder joins Union Berlin for £10 million. And we have also sold Pietro Pellegrini. He joins Cagliari in the Serie A for £10 million. And now Arthur Zagre has also left the club. The French left-back joins, I believe, Genk for £4.05 million. Taking advantage of the release clause system, we have picked up a bargain for him. The French centre-back coming over from Bayern Munich for £57.8 million. And we are now in the final hour of this transfer window. Pretty good transfer window. Wan-Bissaka, Gomez, Hernandez coming into the club, and then a load of players out. We do have another problem though, is that we only have 3 reserves. So if 3 people are injured at one time, or 2 are injured and 1 is suspended, then we're going to have to forfeit. So what I've done is I've accepted a £30 million offer for Georges, our left back from Spurs. And what I'm going to do, if that goes through, I'm going to bring in some free agents just so if we don't have enough players, we aren't forced to forfeit the match. Anyway, moving on to the Champions League. We didn't play in the qualifying round, so I guess we're just straight into the group stages. Let's see who we've got in our group stage this season. And we have once again been placed in Group H for this season's Champions League. In it, we have Real Madrid, ourselves, Club Brugge and Shakhtar Donetsk. Shakhtar Donetsk and Club Brugge shouldn't be too much of a challenge. It's Real Madrid who are the team to beat. I don't know, we might be able to get the top spot, but right now I'm happy with second place. Let's see how we do. And after all the games had been played, we did finish in second. We go through to the round of 16 along with Real Madrid, who top the group. Club Brugge and Shakhtar Donetsk going home early. The round of 16 has been drawn. Let's see who we're up against. And it's Napoli. Okay, that's not a tough opponent for the round of 16. we can definitely work with that. Let's see how we're going in the league. And this is what the League On is looking like halfway through the season. We are joint top with 51 points. Olympic Lyon with 42 goal difference. Ourselves in second with 39. PSG and Marseille rounding out the top four. And then in the relegation zone, it is Dijon, Metz, and Montpellier. Obviously, we are in the transfer window. I'm still not sure what to do because we have 3 reserves. I don't know whether I should buy more players, but I can only buy more players if I sell someone, so I don't know what to do. Now Keita Baldi is unfortunately leaving. There are 2 players, him and somebody else I can't remember, who had less than a year on their contract, and obviously we don't have enough money to go in and offer them a new contract, so I couldn't do anything when they made an offer, so he's leaving. He's joining Lazio next season. So we've got him for this season, and that means we're going to have to buy a backup striker next season. And we are now in the final hour of this January transfer window. No business happening whatsoever apart from Baldi leaving next season. I did try to get a few people in on loan, but they just wouldn't accept it, so we're going to have to hope that nobody gets suspended or injured in the Champions League round of 16, but I don't see that happening at all, so we might have to forfeit a game, which just isn't helpful at all. Next season, definitely bringing in some more backups, but we just got to focus on the Champions League now, and I'll see you in the first leg. Okay, then time for the first leg of the round of 16. We are at home in the first leg against Napoli. We do have 2 injuries. Lucas Hernandez and Konate are both injured, so Henriks and Zagadou, isn't it? Yeah, Henriks and Zagadou come in to replace them. At home, we need to keep a clean sheet here. Napoli, they're not the toughest of opponents, so we did get quite lucky with the draw. They've obviously got a few good players, Mertens, Lozano. They're all very good players, but if we keep a clean sheet, we're in a very good position. What's the score? 2-1. Okay, they did get an away goal, but we're 2-1 up. Hopefully we can bite back in the second leg. Doing some transfer business outside of the transfer window, Georges wanted to leave the club, so we've sold him on to Liverpool. He joins the Premier League side for £25 million. And Lecomte also wanted to leave, so we've sold him on to LOSC Lille for £35 million. Both him and Georges will join their future clubs next season. Here we are in the second leg of the round of 16. This time we are away against Napoli. 2-1 up. They do have an away goal. Strongest side out. Hernandez and Konate are back. Let's get straight into it. We need to score at least once to cancel out their away goal. The score is 3-0. We're through to the quarterfinals. Let's have a look and see who we've been matched up against. And in the quarterfinals, we have been placed up against FC Bayern Munich. It's going to be a very tough game. Hopefully our squad is fully fit for both of the legs, because we're going to need them to be. Alright, it's now time for the first leg. This leg we are home against Bayern Munich. There is no Dani Olmo. He is suspended, so Mount moves up to the cam position, and then I've forgotten his name, Ansi something. Benacer. Ayat Benacer moves in to the centre mid position. This is going to be a tough game. We are at home. Once again, need to keep a clean sheet against Bayern Munich. If we don't, it's going to be very tough to get back at them. What's the score? They lost 2-1 to Napoli, so hopefully it's 2-1. They get 2 away goals, and we're down by 1 goal going into the second leg. It's going to be tough to get back what we've lost. Okay, second leg now, this time away against Bayern Munich. Dani Olmo is back, and we have a full strength starting 11. Hopefully we can get back those 2 away goals. It's going to be very tough. Let's get into it. Obviously 2-1 down. They do have 2 away goals. What's the score? 1-1. And we are knocked out of the Champions League in the quarterfinals. 3-2 on aggregate. We didn't do enough. But I reckon next year we've progressed really far and we've done really well. I reckon next with a few more signings, we can go for it and we can win the Champions League. But obviously we have been knocked out, so I'll see you at the end of the season. And at the end of the Ligue 1 season, we finish on top of the table, 106 points. We went undefeated. PSG, Olympique Lyon and OGC Nice round out your top four. In the relegation zone, it is Dijon, FC Lorient and FC Metz. How I think it works is Dijon and FC Lorient are relegated, and then FC Metz play in a promotion relegation playoff, and then if they win they stay up, if they lose they get relegated. I'm not too sure. It's the French league and I don't follow it that much, so I'm just completely guessing. And we also won the Coupe Nationale. We beat RC Strasbourg 4-0 in the final. And we have done the domestic treble. We won the Coupe de la Ligue, beating Girondins 3-1 in the final. The promotion playoff final was won by RC Lens, so I believe they get promoted, and FC Metz, who lost in the final 4-1 on aggregate. At the start of the season, we lost in the Super Cup, Barcelona beating us 1-0. The Europa League was won by Villarreal, who beat Roma in the final 2-1. And then it's Barcelona who beat Bayern Munich, the team that knocked us out in the quarterfinals. They take Bayern Munich down 2-1 to win the Champions League. So that's the end of season number 3, a very, very good season, winning the domestic treble, the league and the 2 cups. And we did go quite far in the Champions League. We did get knocked out by the team who made it to the final, so that makes me feel a little bit better about it. We are going to have to make a lot of transfers coming into the club in season number 4, because we don't have a big enough squad to actually play in any games. So even if they're just free agents, we're going to have to make some signings. But enough said, let's get into season number 4. I'm going to have to make a lot of transfers in this first transfer window. The first one here being John Joe Kenny, the right back coming over from Stade de Rennes in our league. He signs for £10 million, with Benjamin Hendricks going the other way. Our second signing now, this time it is a backup goalkeeper, I don't know, Rulli. I know his name's Rulli. I've known that for a while. I've known this guy for a while. But he comes over from, I believe, La Liga, from Real Sociedad. The Argentinian joins for £25 million. And now with our third signing, third signing of this first transfer window, Alexander Lacazette, coming over from Bayern Munich in the German league. The French striker signs for a total fee of £40 million. We're getting some business done in this transfer window. And the signings are coming in thick and fast. This time it is Fran Beltran, the Spanish holding midfielder, coming over from Stade de Reims, another rival in the league. And he signs for £22.5 million. And like I said at the start of the season, we have had to make some free agent transfers just so we have enough players in the squad. So I have brought in all of these players: Cordovil de Lima, Rossi, Vanakin, Belhanda, Abruviela, Bastos, Dominguez, and Bates. All of them, they're in the 60s, so they're decent. They probably won't play any matches, but at least if someone gets injured or suspended, we have someone to then replace them if we need to, so we don't have to forfeit any games. But that's probably going to do us for this transfer window, I reckon. And we are now in the final hour of this first transfer window, a very busy transfer window, £97.5 million spent, a lot of backups coming into the club, and a very good transfer window overall. Obviously, we are in the Champions League this season, so let's take a look and see who we've got in our group stage. And in season number 4, we have been placed into Group F of the Champions League. Looking at it, it's a really easy group. Ourselves, who should finish top. Borussia Dortmund going to be the hardest opponent, with Benfica and Lokomotiv Moscow being the easiest opponents. Probably the easiest group we'll ever have in this rebuild, and in a lot of other future rebuilds. Shouldn't be too bad at all. Let's see how we do. And after all the games were played, we did finish on top. We won 5, lost 1. We did lose to Borussia Dortmund, I know that. So it's us finishing on top and Dortmund in second, with Benfica and Moscow going home. Pretty sure the table didn't change. The round of 16 has been drawn. let's take a look and see who we've been put up against. Manchester United. Okay. It's not a tough team. Well, they're gonna be tough. I would have preferred obviously someone like Ajax or Lazio, but Manchester United I'll take, and I reckon we can beat them. Halfway through the league and season, we are in second, joint first with PSG. They're beating us by 6 goal difference. We are in second, obviously PSG on top, Olympique Lyon in third, and then LOSC rounding out the top 4. In the relegation zone at this point in time, it is Angers, Stade, Brestios, and RC Lens who all look to be going down. And we have made our first signing in this January transfer window. Dan Axel Zagadou, our season 1 centre-back signing, wanted to leave the club. I didn't want him to leave, but he had 1 year remaining on his contract and someone was trying to get him on a free for next season. So I decided that I was just going to get something out of him instead of just letting him go for free. So we've swapped him for Torres, a decently good centre-back. He's a bit lower rating, so hopefully he won't want to play as much. But he signs from Borussia Mönchengladbach, the Spanish centre-back, coming over for Dan Axel Zagadou and an extra £1. And now it's time for a pre-contract signing. Jan Oblak, the best keeper in the world at this point in time. He's going to be joining AS Monaco next season in case we don't win the Champions League this season. When he comes in, I'll probably sell either Livakovic or Rulli, drop whoever's left to the bench, and then he'll come into the starting loan role. Great signing for next season. Final hour of the transfer window now. Not much happening in this transfer window. Obviously, as you can see, we have spent a grand total of £1 because that's all I could offer Torres, with Zagadou going the other way. Zagadou going out of the club, joining Borussia Mönchengladbach in the Bundesliga, and Torres coming into the club now, with Oblak coming in next season. Pretty good transfer window. Obviously, we are in the round of 16 against Manchester United. Let's see how we do in the first leg. Okay, time for the first leg at home. We are in the first leg of the round of 16 against Manchester United. Full strength starting 11. Get a few away goals. That would be very nice. We're going to simulate. They lost to Atletico Madrid. What's the score? Come on, away goals. It's 1-0. 1-0. They win. And we don't get any away goals. That's not looking too good for the second leg. Okay, it's now time for the second leg. This time we are at home against Manchester United. They are 1-0 up and we don't have any away goals. Strongest side. Gomez is a bit tired, but that shouldn't be too much. Keep a clean sheet. We need to score. I don't want to get knocked out. Come on. What's the score? 2-1. 2-1 and they go through on away goals. No, we've knocked out of the Champions League round of 16, and we're going to have to wait another season. And at the end of the season, this is what the Ligue 1 table is looking like. PSG finish on top, 1 point above us in the end. Ourselves in second, Olympique Lyon in third, and OG Nice in fourth. In the relegation zone, it is Angers, EA Guamp, and Stade Brestios who all go down. At the start of the season, we lost to PSG in the Trophy Champ, losing 2-0. The Coupe Nationale was also won by PSG. They beat FC Metz 3-0. Once again, PSG winning the Coupe de la Ligue 3-1 against Olympique Lyon in the final. The promotion playoff final was won by Estac Troyes, beating Stade Brestios on aggregate 4-1. At the start of the season, Barcelona took down Villarreal 3-1 to win the Super Cup. The Europa League was eventually won by Roma. They beat Milan in the final 2-1. And then it was Barcelona who beat Real Madrid 2-0 to win the Champions League. Now, as you can see in the top left, my manager rating is at a 56. It was down to a 49, and there was a performance review meeting, and Rulli wanted to leave the club, and he was putting our rating down so much. So, in a sheer panic to keep my job at the club, I have decided to release him. It cost me £2 million, but I think we're going to keep our job now. But we've released him for £2 million, so obviously Livakovic is going to go down to the bench next season as Oblak comes into the starting role. So that is the end of season number 4. An alright season, finishing second in the league, obviously qualifying for Champions League at least. Getting to the round of 16, I would have liked to progress a bit further, What I'm going to do next season is I'm going to bring in really strong players and we're going to win the Champions League. That's a guarantee. But we are at the end of the season. Obviously, my manager rating is 56. I wonder if we're going to keep the job. What is it? And we have kept the job. Thank God. But anyway, let's forget about this season now. Let's forget that we almost lost our job. And let's move on to season number 5. And our first signing for season number 5 is a massive one. Milan Skriniar, now 90 rated, coming over from Inter Milan in the Serie A for £70 million. What a signing he is. And somehow we were obviously going to sell Konate, but I don't know how we've gotten more for him than we bought Skriniar for. We bought Skriniar, who's 3 ratings more, for 70 million. We were able to sell Konate to Inter Milan, where Skriniar came from, for 90 million. I don't know how we did that, but I'll take it. So Ibrahima Konate moving to Inter Milan for £90 million. And we are now in the final hour of this first transfer window in season number 5. Skriniar coming into the club, Konate coming out of the club. A very, very good transfer window. Apart from obviously those 2 bits of businesses, apart from those 2 bits of business happening, there wasn't anything that needed to be done. So Skriniar in, Konate out. We are in the Champions League. Let's see who we've got in our group stage. And in our Champions League group for season number 5, we have been placed into Group C. It is ourselves, Bayern, RB Salzburg, and Lokomotiv Moscow. Obviously, Bayern are the team to beat. I reckon we should finish top. If not, definitely go through. Let's see how we do after all games have been played. And in the end, we did finish top of our group. We didn't lose, didn't draw a game. We won all 6. Ourselves in first, Bayern Munich in second. So we go through to the round of 16, which has been drawn. Let's take a look, see who we're up against. It is RB Leipzig. Okay, I'm very happy with that. I think we can easily take them down. We are, however, halfway through the season, so let's take a look and see how we're doing in the league. And in the league, we are sitting at the top of the table as well. We haven't lost or drawn a game. We've played 19, won 19, sitting on 57 points. PSG in second, Olympique Lyon in third, and Stade Rennais in fourth. In the relegation zone at the moment, it is Estac, Troyes, FC Lorient, and Nîmes Olympique, who all look to be going down at the end of the season. And just like that, the January transfer window is finished. We are in the final hour right now. No players in, no players out, no business whatsoever. Our team is insane. We don't need to do anything whatsoever, being that players in, players out. We are in the round of 16 this year in the Champions League against RB Leipzig. It should be pretty easy to get through to the quarterfinals. But let's see how we do in the first leg. I actually can't believe what I've done. Somehow, someway, I just completely forgot to record the first leg against RB Leipzig. I don't know how I've done it, but I have. We've played them, I believe it was the away leg. And as you can see, we won 2-0. So we're 2-0 up at the away leg. Hopefully, I can actually record the second leg. We're right at it now, literally today. So I guess I'll see you in the second leg. Okay then, time for the second leg. This time at home, we will actually be able to see what's going on in real time. This time, our strongest side out, obviously 2-0 up, 2 away goals. I do not see RB Leipzig winning this. They've got a pretty good team, but still, with our strongest squad out with 2 away goals, they can't beat us. What's the score? 2-1. We go through 4-1 on aggregate. Let's see who we've got in the quarterfinals. In the quarterfinals of this year's Champions League, we have been put up against Piemonte Calcio or Juventus. Obviously, they are a very good side, but I still reckon we can beat them. Okay, then it is now time for the first leg. This leg, we are at home against Juventus. Strongest side once again. No injuries, no suspensions. Keep a clean sheet, and I reckon we will dominate in the second leg. What's the score? They drew to Liverpool. Beat Bayern. What's the score? It is 2-0. Clean sheet. 2 goals up. Abraham is injured, but we do have Lacazette if it's needed. Should be a pretty easy second leg. Okay, then second leg, this time away against Juventus. Tammy Abraham is out. I don't reckon he'll miss the first leg of the semi-finals if we get there, but Lacazette comes in for him. Apart from that, strongest squad out. 2-0 up. They don't have a single away goal. Should be an easy game. What's the score? It is 1-1. We are through to the semi-finals, beating Juventus 3-1 on aggregate. Let's see who we've got. And in the semi-finals, we have been matched up against Atletico Madrid. I reckon we have been given the easy opponent there. Not that Atletico Madrid are easy to beat, but if I had to face either Atletico Madrid, Barcelona or Liverpool, I probably would have gone with Atletico Madrid. So we'll see how we do in the first leg. Alright, so it is now time for the first leg of the semi-finals. We are at home for this first leg against Atletico Madrid. Once again, no Tammy Abraham, so Lacazette fills in for him. If we do the same as we did against Juventus, keeping a clean sheet, we should be able to take them down in the second leg. Obviously, their squad's going to be very good with Felix and all that. What is the score? It is 4-0! 4-0! How have we just won 4-0? They've got Felix, Van der Beek, Chilwell, Jimenez, Tar. These are all like 88 plus rated players. We've beaten them 4-0. I mean, I'll take it. It'll be a walk in the park, the second leg. Alright, it is now time for the second leg. This time we are away against Atletico Madrid. Gomez did get suspended, so he's not playing in this game. Belhanda, he's actually one of the free agents we picked up in the last season. He's coming in to the spot, so we've got Lacazette and Belhanda up front. So our strike force isn't great, but we're 4-0 up. If we choke now, then it's I can't see us choking at all. Apart from obviously those two, strongest side out. What's the score? 2-2. We beat them 6-2 on aggregate. We're through to the final. Get in. And in the Champions League final 2024, it is AS Monaco against Barcelona. It's going to be a great game. And at the end of the season, we won our second Ligue 1 title, finishing top of the table, 36 wins, 2 draws, 110 points, PSG 13 points behind us in second, Olympique Lyon in third, and Girondins in fourth. In the relegation zone, it is Nimes, Olympique, Estac Troyes, and RC Lens, which all go down. We won the trophy champ at the start of the season, beating PSG 1-0. And the Copa Nacional hasn't actually been played yet, but in the final it is ourselves against Olympique Lyon. And we won the Coupe de la Ligue, doing the domestic treble, beating Nice in the final 4-0. Once again, the promotion playoff final is yet to be played, and it is RC Lens up against Dijon. At the start of the season, Barcelona took down Roma 2-1 to win the Super Cup. And Milan take Chelsea down in the Europa League final, beating them 3-2. And now, just before the Champions League final, I am going to go through our whole squad hub. Obviously, it's not going to take long because we've only got 28 men in our actual squad. This team is very good. I don't think it's as good as my Roma team in the last rebuild, but it's still a very good team. Obviously, Golovin, been there since the beginning. Didn't sign him in Season 1. He's just been at the squad since Season 1. He is going to be our captain. And hopefully at the end, he's going to lift the Champions League. Obviously, Abraham and Gomez, both 6 strikers. I'm pretty sure Abraham and Gomez are the only 2 people on our team which aren't 90 rated. And they're still both 89. So that is our squad, a very good team. Let's get into the game against Barcelona.
Like you, be strong to hold the powers of the sun. Dream, believe in strength. Now I'm the only one, only one. I was an ordinary boy.
Okay, then Champions League final time. Monaco against Barcelona. Come on, boys. Lodi making his way down the line. Gives it to Gomez. That's a great run by Olmo. Cut inside. Go for it, Olmo. Finesse. Yeah, takes a block and it's easy for Stegen. Mount. Gives it to Gomez. Sees the run by Abraham. Abraham, shoot! Oh, hits the bar. Gives it to Gomez. It's going to shoot! What a goal! What a goal by Gomez! Maximiliano Gomez puts us 1-0 against Barcelona with a great goal. At first, that's a great ball. Tammy Abraham on his left hits the post, falls to Gomez into the roof of the net. What a finish! Get in, 1-0 up. Wendell plays it out wide to Golovin. Sees the run by Wan-Bissaka. Well done. He's going to cut back inside. Abraham's there on the edge. Give it to him. Why has he gone all the way back there? Wendell gives it to Mount. Sees Glovin. Touch. Finesse! Oh, it just goes wide. Wendell running down the line. Cut back in. Gives it to Abraham's feet. Wan-Bissaka. No. Put it back in to Abraham. Maximiliano Gomez has made the run. He's somehow gotten through there. He can't do anything with it. He needs an option. Takes out wide. Plays it to Glovin. To Mount. To Wendell. Back to Mount. Why has that gone to Mount? Still got it. Wendell gives it to Abraham. Abraham touch inside. Finesse. Blocked. Could be on the break here. Dembele's got the ball out wide now. Takes it past. Cuts back in. What can he do with it? He's going to cross it into the back post. Wan-Bissaka. He doesn't get there, but it's easy for Oblak. Jesus gives it to Oyarzabal. Cutting inside. Gives it to Fernandez. To Bentancur. Oyarzabal. Fernandez. This is good play. Oyarzabal. Good save by Oblak. Goes out for a corner. First corner here of the game. Barcelona to take. Put in by Fernandez. Can we get it away? Longley gets his head in it, but it goes over the bar. De Jong gives it to Jesus. To Bentancur. Fernandez. De Jong. Bentancur. Good tackle. Could be here for a counter attack now. Abraham sees the run by Gomez. Who sees the run by Abraham. Your way, Abraham. Two big touches. Shoot with your left. And it's 2-0 to AS Monaco. That was great play. Good tackle by Wendell. Set us up for a counter-attack. And a good strike by Abraham. Great play between the two strikers here. Abraham to Gomez. Gomez to Abraham. And good strike with his left foot. Stegen arguably should have saved that. Arnold plays it out wide to Dembele. Goes inside to Bentancur. To Jesus. What can he do with it? Passes it to Fernandez. Just dropping off. He gets a shot off. And then we get it away. Mount sees the run by Abraham. It wasn't a great ball. What can he do with it? Glovin's making the run. He's giving it to him. Big touch. He's going to catch up. He's got it out wide. Can't do anything with it. Sees the run by Abraham. Who crosses it. Low driven. We get a corner. Our first corner here. Just going to place it there. Swung in by Olmo. Wendell's there. Can't get his head in it. Hernandez. He's done well. Shouldn't have shot there. Half time now. Abraham. Hit one. Oh, good save by ter Stegen. Another corner for us here. Olmo's going to put it in. Gives it. Hernandez. Can't get to it. Zinchenko. Plays it to Fernandez. Bentancur. Into Jesus' feet. Gives it to De Jong. Back to Jesus. Bentancur to Fernandez. They're very good at passing, Barcelona. Oyarzabal to Bentancur. That was awful defending. Oblak, you should have caught that. Another corner for Barcelona. Dembele this time going to put it in. Oblak punches it away, but it's straight back to Dembele. Puts it to the edge to Fernandez. Don't let him shoot. Dembele gets it back. Blocked by Skriniar, and we get it away. Bentancur making his way down the line. Plays it to Arnold. Hernandez has got to do something here. He doesn't. They get a cross in. Oblak saves. I am making two substitutions here. Gomez and Mount both knackered. So Lacazette and Beltran come on and replace them. Oyarzabal giving it to Jesus. Well done by Hernandez. Plays it up top. Abraham. Plays out wide to Lacazette. Gives it to Dani Olmo. What can he do with it? Take too big of a touch. And then it's easy for ter Stegen. De Jong. Gives it to Oyarzabal. To Coutinho. That's a great goal by Barcelona. And they've brought it back 2-1. We have played awful in this second half. It was great play. De Jong, Oyarzabal, Coutinho. And then that's great feet and a great finish. Lacazette. Just go backwards. Gives it to Beltran. Lacazette. Plays it inside to Wendell. Can't do anything with it. He needs someone to make a run. Or Abraham. Plays it to Olmo. Into Lacazette. Lacazette touch and shoot. What a save by ter Stegen. I was sure that was a goal. Another corner here for ourselves. Going to be swung in by Olmo. It's too close to the keeper. He punches it away. Gives it to Glovin. He's going to have a crack. Probably a bad idea. Jesus. Running up down the line here. Gives it to Coutinho out wide. That's a great ball into Oyarzabal. Puts it into the box. Skriniar. That's not away. Dembele. Falls to Fernandez. Skriniar does get it away finally. Olmo running down the clock here. Wan-Bissaka's made a great run. Get there. He does. Wan-Bissaka. Come on, son. Sees Glovin edge. Long lay interception. shouldn't matter though. Fernandez, he can't do anything with it, and that is it. AS Monaco champions of the world right now, of Europe, winning the Champions League, taking Barcelona down 2-1 in the final. I hope you have enjoyed this episode, guys. I'm really enjoying making these. Definitely make sure to subscribe if you're new around here, and hit that like button as well. I'm going to shut up now. We'll watch the celebrations, and I hope that I can catch you in the next one. Bye, guys.